thought I should probably give a little information on the reason I've been here for the past few weeks and what's still to come. I've touched on it a little bit in some of the previous weeks, but what I'm doing at the moment is a intensive language program in preparation for work in the fall. So what I wanted to do, this week is kind of a preview. I'm only, at this point now, halfway through the program. We have 4 weeks done, 4 weeks to go. And originally I was just going to do a video at the end of the 8 weeks as a sort of summary of everything. And I'm still planning on doing that, but I thought about halfway through would be a good way to kind of preview some things that have already gone on. If you choose to do an intensive language program, it's my opinion that the benefit you get from it will be determined almost entirely by how good your instructor is and what type of instructor they are, and the other people in your class. If I'm honest, our instructor is a little bit touched, special. She's kind of crazy, to be honest. But it makes it so that you can get through the days. It is not uncommon. Our instructor's from Cuba, so it's not uncommon that we will take 15 minutes, sometimes longer, out of the day in order to learn how to dance. No speaking. Well, music's playing and we're supposed to understand the Spanish of the song. But dance steps, salsa, is just as important as conjugating a direct object pronoun. Now I've got a good example here of how our individual professor keeps things kind of lighthearted while also being somewhat demanding. So I'll play a little bit of that for you. Let's just say some members of our class really decided to put it all out there and ham it up, if you will.
No pido, por favor. No, okay, no moleste.
Hola. Buenos días, amigos. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Hoy el día está muy bonito en Monterey. Tenemos un verano especial. Está muy caluroso.
Me encantada. Me fascina la comida argentina. Nos vemos a la hora de la película.
Obviously, learning language is, for the most part, a personal activity. How much can you learn, memorize, recite? How well does it stick with you? Do you use it? Do you lose it? But in these intensive programs, because you spend so many hours with the same people, how close they are to your own ability and the learning pace of the class, really, it matters who your classmates are. I am very fortunate that most of the people in our class are very, very smart people, and that they pick up language at the same pace that I do. And I'd be lying if I said it's all good days. For the most part, things move at an acceptable pace. Sometimes there are days when you are just not a happy person at the end of the day. And I had one of those. I haven't had many so far. And I'll turn the camera on and, well, I gave some words to my current state. One encouraging thing about the program, and I think this is a little bit of a Monterey focus given the other things that they're interested in, but also our specific teacher, is their embracing of sort of new media opportunities or learning tools and whatnot. Some of these flat don't work, and we'll get to that later, because there's nothing we can do about it now. But they try and do more than just kind of like write these sentences for homework. For example, one of our more recent projects was to do a daily routine using reflexive verbs. So we had to find the reflexive verbs that would apply to our daily routine, which could, you could have just written out a diary like you would have done in high school years ago, and it would have been boring, and you'd stand up in front of the class and say, I wake up, I go to the bathroom, I take a shower, or I shower myself, if we're using reflexives. But what she wanted us to do was to put it in some form of visual presentation, which you could do whatever you wanted. So, granted, we only had 2 days to do this. So a lot of people did PowerPoint slide displays. I chose to use some footage I shot when I was initially camera shopping I had put together a morning routine just because that's how I chose to test the camera. So I had a lot of stock footage that happened to be perfect for this assignment. So, worked a little Spanish I got rid of the original audio, worked some Spanish into it, and I'll tack that on right here so you can see what the end result was.
I'm sailing away, set an open course.
Temprano por la mañana me despierto. Entonces me levanto. Oh, y me acuerdo mi teléfono celular. Para el desayuno hago café. Solo café. Me preocupo por mi tarea mientras estoy tomando el café. Me ducho todos mañanas. Y me seco después. Una vez por semana me afeito mi juelo. Tengo soldado. Entonces, me cepillo los dientes, pero todos los días. Me visto y me pongo mis botas. Me pruebo mi chaqueta vieja. Y me pongo mi sombrero marrón. Finalmente, me voy a la casa. Yo conduzco a Monterey, pero me cambio mis ropas. Yo aparco mi carro. y camino a la clase. Yo veo Burton. Él no salúdame. En la clase, yo argumento con Drew. Después, yo conduzco a mi casa. Me quejo de nuestros verbos. Me acuesto. Y me duermo. Por la mañana me repito. So that's a little window into what class is like. If you made it this far, thank you. I know it was a lot of me talking straight into the camera. Next week's the rodeo in Salinas, so that'll be much more action-packed and none of me talking into the camera. But I thought I'd leave you with a little bit of how I approach my homework. You saw a few little clips of me doing random things around the house here, and I'm saving most of those for the final video after the 8th week, but I thought I'd add this one here right on the end. This was the Sunday after our first week of class, and I was trying to figure out how to say I was finished doing the dishes, and yeah, it's bad. So, los platos, terminar. I don't know if that makes sense. Los platos, the dishes, are finished. I kind of said finish. Terminar los platos. Terminar los platos. Terminar. You gotta do this. Terminar. It's this. Mandatory. And they're not actually finished. Okay. I don't want to do any more. I don't want to do any more dishes, and I don't want to do any more Spanish. So I say miracles. Nothing. I say nothing, but you know what I am thinking. Okay. We see you next week. Próximo semana? Maybe? Whatever.